Philippines Juvi Max R. Uri Roy Galido Philippine Army on May 8, 2021. Bangsamoro Islamic freedom fighters insurgents occupied the public market of the municipality of Datu Paglas in Maguindanao, Philippines, forcing many residents to evacuate. The public market in Datu Paglas was occupied by members of the Bangsamoro Islamic freedom fighters, particularly from a faction led by Kagi Karyalang, which is largely based in the Ligawasan Mas. The BIF militants reportedly arrived early morning May 7, on board 5 cargo trucks. The insurgents were allowed to stay in town by the local government out of goodwill, since at that time Ramadan is being observed, provided they don't harm any civilians. It was originally thought that around 100 BIF members were involved, an estimate provided to the military by the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, a former rebel group which leads the Bangsamoro Autonomous Regional Government, although the military concludes from information relayed to them by the Datu Paglas local government that there were only 20 BIF members involved. The BIF is estimated to have 200 active members operating in central Mindanao at the time of the incident. The Karyalang faction has suffered from losses in 2021 alone. From January 17 to April 28, 17 members of the group were killed in 13 separate encounters with the Philippine Army 6th Infantry Division. 31 BIF members also surrendered and left the group due to back-channel talks initiated by local leaders and commanders of the military division. The military says that BIF were retreating after it launched operations against the group in the SPMS box, an area in the Maguindanao, for the past 2 weeks prior to the occupation. The military claims that the BIFF's occupation of the market was a move to gather food supply for the group. BIF spokesperson Abu Jihad, in an interview after the occupation, said that his group had no intentions to seize the town and were just resting since they were fasting for Ramadan. The BIF group which occupied the market is led by Andu Suleiman, a former member of the Sangguniang Kabatan of Datu Paglas who married a close relative of BIF faction leader Karyalang. The Philippine Army sent troops of the 601st Infantry Brigade of the 6th Infantry Division to Datu Paglas to check the presence of the BIF in the municipality. The 601st Infantry Brigade is led by Gen. Roy Galido. They launched an operation against the BIF in the evening of May 7, 2021. The BIF in response went to occupy the Datu Paglas public market at around 4 a.m. the following day, where they adopted defensive positions. The military along with the police surrounded the area occupied by the BIF. The military allowed local leaders to negotiate with the insurgents to minimize any casualties, while at the same time preparing to attack. Datu Paglas Mayor Abubakar Paglas, who is also a Datu, was involved in the talks. At 4:30 a.m., the BIF blockaded the Datu Paglas-Tulunan road which connects the town to Tulunan, Maguindanao, using a cargo truck. Some members also occupied Gawad Kalinga housing units meant for civilians. Although the BIF did not take anyone hostage, the BIF reportedly left the public market after talks of the group with the Datu Paglas mayor. There were conflicting reports if the negotiations were successful. The talks was credited for preventing an armed confrontation altogether. Another report claimed that talks fell apart after a BIF member opened fire at a police personnel who were sent to ensure the safety of residents in the vicinity, and that around 9 a.m. the Philippine military launched land and aerial assaults on the BIFF's position. After an hour, the military was able to regain control of the public market. Around 5,000 people were displaced in Datu Paglas during the incident. As part of the clearing operations, the military was able to safely disarm and depose 4 improvised bombs in the public market and national highway areas. The national road linking Maguindanao and Cotabato, which was barred during the occupation, was reopened to the public by noon of the same day. No civilian or military casualties were reported, although accounts by Datu Paglas residents said that at least 5 BIF members sustained wounds serious enough that they had to be carried away by their compatriots when the group abandoned the market. The military declared that the situation in Datu Paglas was restored to normalcy by 2 p.m. in the afternoon.